Boom! Alright, so how many of you guys actually figured out it was a Dainese logo as I was zooming out? First of all, I had these gloves in white in a size medium, and I felt like my hands were being crushed every single time I was using it. Now, I obviously went for the mediums because that's what the sizing chart recommended, and it just they were a pain. They were a pain to use. Every single time I swapped back to my Held Titans, a world of difference in comfort and just overall dexterity. So those were obviously not the right size. Now I did suffer a few issues with my fingers. Something inside the glove would cause so much abrasion that it would actually almost like rip some of your skin off. So I attributed that to the fact that the size of the gloves weren't right. So I decided to give Dainese another shot, just in terms of their gloves, because their suits are like fucking fantastic. And I just can't get enough of how supple and how just tender their... No, that's not what I'm talking about, you perverts. Their leather is. So I gave Dainese another shot, and I ordered these in large. So that's a size up. And the second I put the gloves on, I'm like, yeah, that is the size that I should have been in from the start. Now, you'll notice something, that these two colors are exactly the same. They're supposed to be the same, but yet on camera they look quite different. This looks more reddish, and this is like a combination of orange and a bit of yellow. Now, this is the great thing about, I'm not sure, like the actual dye that Dainese uses on these highlights, as you can see here, is, they call it fluoro red, and for some reason it actually does work, because at certain angles the red kind of changes, you know what I mean? I'll try to show it to you here on camera. See, the shade of the red changes depending on how the light hits it, and that is one of the coolest things ever, to be honest. I put them on and I didn't have any issues with making with any internal abrasion. Then I stopped for refueling, and what happened was, obviously my hands were kind of sweaty, and when I put them back on and I took off, I started getting that same discomfort that I remember getting in the previous pair. And I was trying to move my hands around inside the gloves while I was riding to sort of, I don't know, shake that thing that was causing the discomfort off. And unfortunately, I ended up with this. Now, it might not look that serious, okay, and to be honest, it's not that serious, but to be honest, that's probably 2 to 3 layers of skin right there. So we're not just talking the epidermis. That really, really, really upset me. And to be honest, I got a decent deal, and when I saw this colorway or this livery of the gloves, I completely fell in love with it. And in all fairness, I ordered 2 of them, so I'm gonna have to make them work somehow, because I love the way the gloves look, but of course it would be completely unwise to just wear the gloves based on the looks. If you're not getting full, and I mean full comfort and control from your gloves, then you gotta switch them out. So what I'm gonna try to do is, if you've seen the MotoGP riders and World Superbike riders as well, they sometimes tape their knuckles. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Essentially, all the force, all the stress that I noticed was on this pinky. So I didn't have any issue with the other pinky at all. So what I'm gonna do is, what I'm gonna try to do is tape this pinky up and see how it goes. And I'll let you know. Something that disappointed me as well is the fact that if you If I can get them into focus. See these scratches? They obviously weren't on the gloves when I bought them. But after the ride, I don't know what happened, to be honest. They got scratched up pretty easily. So, I don't know. I think Dainese should maybe invest into some, I don't know, like some sort of different finishing so that it's not that easily scratched. I mean, if this is what they look like after just one outing, and I don't exactly recall any sort of moment I had to cause it, so it's gonna look like a fucking kindergarten chalkboard by the time I'm done with the riding season. Compared to other gloves, another unfortunate letdown, I don't know why the hell I like these gloves anymore, is the palm they use is made out of goat skin. Now, goat skin is much more abrasion resistant than cow skin, but it's nowhere near as tough as kangaroo or stingray leather, which are pretty much used by Held. I think Held was probably the first company to use kangaroo leather. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on that. But they were pretty much famous for using kangaroo leather in their palms, and for like the palm reinforcements, they'd use stingray leather. And here's the thing: I had a big accident in my Held Titans, and I'm gonna review the Titans in terms of everything, their general performance and their crashability. So make sure to subscribe, and so you can stay posted on that specific review as well. I'm pretty sure you're gonna, if you really care about safety gear, you're gonna find that review to be extremely insightful in terms of the general protection capabilities of things like kangaroo leather, stingray leather, because pretty much every single part of that glove made contact with the ground at some sort of angle. So stay tuned for that review. So overall, yeah, just to give you a quick roundup of the what you call the protective features. Pretty much, we mentioned the goat skin palm. There's a plastic slider here, a little padding right beside it. I'm not sure if you can see it. Yeah, there it goes. And obviously, as I mentioned, the titanium. There are carbon fiber inserts on the fingers right there. There's a distortion control particulate. Now I'm just trying to sound cool. Anyways, yeah, just like as you can see, distortion control. This is for the pinky, so that when and if you end up falling and your pinky is the first thing that hits the ground, this is supposed to provide a little bit of resistance so it doesn't bend and break backwards. Other companies like Held, for example, use they essentially join these two fingers together with a piece of leather down the side, which is what I had on the Held Titans. And based on my experience, it works. And you've also got some carbon fiber inserts here on the thumb, all right, and stretch panels right here and through the fingers. And that's pretty much it. Obviously, it's safety stitched, and there's a little grip pad. The name escapes me right now, right here with the small Dainese logo. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna give these gloves another chance. I'm just gonna tape my little pinky and see how it goes. You're not expected to try to find workarounds for things with or like issues when the gloves are supposed to be the top of the line gloves. I mean, these are essentially the same gloves used in MotoGP. Like, these are the highest tier glove sold by Dainese. So I'm not sure why they haven't I don't know, found a way to deal with this. Because to be honest, I actually looked up a few reviews on a few sites, and some people actually do complain about this issue. And surprisingly, I mean, I've seen girls ride in these gloves without any problems. So I'm not sure what it is with the scuffing of the skin. But hopefully I can find a solution around it. And one final note is, when you actually press a little on the pinky, Like, see these essentially like there's silver highlights over the finger? There is something inside, something a little hard. Again, I mean, obviously this is for the protection of the pinky, but I think that is exactly what's causing the rubbing and the abrasion against the skin. So hopefully we'll see how it goes, and I will post a follow-up review to these Full Metal D1s pretty soon. Well, not pretty soon, after I get some decent riding time in them, of course, and I'll let you know how it goes. So stay tuned, and thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Moto Surge out.